It almost felt like a money laundering scheme.
I believe the money that comes in is used for themselves.
Former members of the Republican National Hispanic Assembly are coming forward with damning allegations against the organization. Florida's conservative voice investigates. The Republican National Hispanic Assembly, aka the RNHA, is gearing up for their big fundraiser in Naples. In the last week, I've been flooded with messages of allegations against them. Mario Herrera is one of those sources willing to go on record. At one point, the RNHA was going to merge with another popular conservative Hispanic outreach organization known as Legsit. Herrera was overseeing the process.
I was never able to find them through the FEC accounts. I was always asking where the money that was being raised was going.
Herrera asked those questions for months and was always given the same excuses.
The debit card that is associated with the bank being out of Texas, that that was either lost or something was wrong with it, where they had to go in person.
Herrera says all the pushback came from the RNHA National Chairwoman Betty Cardenas, and there were other things she did that made him uncomfortable.
I felt like I was put in a very awkward situation when I was asked to run a national organization that was in conjunction with a nonprofit that she was running, personally, without any records of expenses.
Due to financials and other issues, the merger of the organizations never went through.
I started disassociating myself with the organization when I felt like there was a detachment with their finances and the way that they operate. It almost felt like a money laundering scheme.
The same allegation is made by another former member, Ron Flores.
I believe the money that comes in is used for themselves in the form of having these big events, 5-star hotels, limousines, tuxedos.
Flores' story is similar to Herrera's. Got a higher-up position within the RNHA, began asking questions about the finances, and was met with strong pushback. Even more alarming, I spoke with many other sources from all over the nation saying the same thing as these two gentlemen. But the RNHA had them sign non-disclosure agreements, preventing them from going on the record.
They sent me a NDA to sign, and I immediately called my attorney. Because I'm in several nonprofit groups for 20 years. I've never, ever been asked to sign an NDA. So he said, Ron, they're hiding something. Don't sign the NDA.
After hearing all these stories, I began asking on social media and privately to numerous members, including Betty, can I see your expenditures? How much money did you raise? Where are your tax documents? All of them ignored me except for one. Emily Nunez referred me to the IRS database saying, quote, all the IRS forms can be found here. So I did a search, and the only documents I could find were from 2010. I went back to Nunez with these concerns, and instead of addressing those issues, she told me how she's investigating my background on why I quit mainstream media and is going to do a story on it for some small media platform. So a conservative is manufacturing news in an attempt to silence me. Not only that, but Nunez also pulled the race and gender card because I'm asking legitimate questions. Quote, glad to see a white male conservative explaining what Hispanics are doing for our community. Again, we're dealing with conservatives here. So let's bring this full circle and come back to the fundraiser they're doing in Naples. Two Florida RNHA members, Santiago Avila Jr. and Gladavet Benaroche, both ripped me for questioning the credibility of their event, saying it has nothing to do with the national organization. Well, after further research, it turns out that both of them are a part of the national board. And according to their bylaws that you can find on the RNHA website, they do extensive audits, which are permanent record. If that's the case, then why do they refuse to give me expenditures? That's a question I want you to ponder. Now, both Herrera and Flores hope new leadership will take over the RNHA and continue to expand the Hispanic vote in the Republican Party, because like we saw under President Donald Trump, it increased greatly.